up, guys? Gamer Guy TV here. So today we are back for another chocolate making video. Now for this chocolate making video, you're gonna need some white chocolate chips, some random color chocolate melts. Sorry for the video lag, by the way. You're gonna need some dark chocolate. You're gonna need some of these cups to put your creation in. And I like to use rainbow sprinkles. You could use any kind of sprinkles. Then you're gonna need 2 bowls. I'm using a cookie scoop. Once again, I apologize for the video lag. And then you're also gonna need a plate to put your creations on. So without further ado, let's get into the creation. Now before we start, this is all in one take because this is very frantic. Basically we're heating the chocolate up and combining it with things that are not heated up, which will cool it down. And you don't want to burn the chocolate. So we're going to use our little glass bowl first. So I'm going to clear everything else out of the way. Now, the reason that this recipe is called white chocolate goop is that the white chocolate, the goop that we're making, has a base of white chocolate, as you will see in a second. Oh, and then I also like to use these little pink sprinkles. The color doesn't matter. The point is that they're little. So we're now going to shift the camera over to in front of the microwave. By the way, I am looking at the camera preview. I'm not just attempting to do this on my own. But we're just gonna pour a fair amount of white chocolate chips in. Let's pour a little more. I'll leave that one. And then we're gonna put it in the microwave for, we're gonna start with a minute 30. We're gonna do 2 minutes on power 60. Now, 2 things that we're also now going to do. We are going to take our smaller bowl and pour some dark chocolate, just enough to coat the bottom of the bowl. Hopefully you guys can see that. Now you will also need a spoon too, let me remind you. Now we're going to shift our camera over again to here. I'm gonna tilt you guys up a bit. There we go. So this thing right here is what we call a food processor. Now, oops, I hit the tripod with my foot. Now, we're gonna put 2 or 3 of each color chocolate melt in the food processor. And then we are going to very carefully blend it up. If I put it on the right way. Alright, so now that we are done blending that, to take the blade out. I'm going to put that in the sink because blades are dangerous. And as you can hear, our microwave just went off. We will get to it in just a second. After I unlock this, and as you guys can see on the rough camera here, we have now ground our colors into what looks like Fruity Pebbles. Now we're going to come back to the microwave. Be very careful when handling bowls of hot chocolate. And we're going to take a spoon. We're going to stir it around. See how melted it gets. And that will determine how much more time we put it in for, or if we put it in for any more time at all, really. Now, I'm gonna tilt the camera down a bit. As much as I can. So that you guys can see me stirring. I apologize once again for the video lag. We're just gonna stir it up a bit here. Until it's nice and smooth. And then we're going to put our dark chocolate in the microwave for a minute and a half on power 70. By the way, don't let the chocolate burn. It smells really bad. Now we're going to take our Fruity Pebble looking ground up chocolate and just go ahead and dump it in to the white chocolate, and you're going to want to mix it up. Now, you'll notice that our white chocolate is starting to become colored chocolate. I don't mean that in a bad way. Basically what's happening is the white chocolate is warm enough to melt the colored chocolate. Now, the colored chocolate is white chocolate with dye in it. So this is still only white chocolate currently. We're just going to want to keep mixing that until our dark chocolate is done. Now you're going to want to grab a separate spoon for the dark chocolate. I will do that in a second. Now if your hand gets tired from mixing, just wait a second. Yeah, just wait a second. And your hand will feel much better. Not everything has to be mixed in. It basically just needs to be mixed to the point that there are very little bits, because our dark chocolate, it's specialty dark, by the way. Again, be very careful. Actually, I think I'm gonna need to put it back in for a few minutes. Not a few more minutes, but... And basically when I said you're working against the clock, I meant you're trying to combine all this so that the chocolate does not cool down. Now there is no measurement for this. I wish there was, but now we're just going to scrape that dark chocolate into our white chocolate. Now, you're going to want to try very hard to get as much of it out. I think I've gotten all I can out of there. Now we just have this white substance that looks like it has brown in it. You're going to want to mix it up, and that will raise the temperature of the chocolate furthermore, and that will give us a lot more time. Now it starts to look sort of like chocolate milk in a way. And that's a good thing. You want it to look like that. Now, there are a few more things that come into play here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we're going to want to mix it and really scrape the sides down. you cannot overmix chocolate. That's like a rule, as it can never be overmixed. Now the chocolate will mix in to the other chocolate within time. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of these sprinkles, just gonna dump a little bit in. Now it looks like it's pink, and we're gonna mix it in. Now we'll just sort of give it this dotted texture. I'm even gonna add a little bit more in, because texture is what this is all about. Now that we've mixed that in, we are still working against time here. So, do not stop working. Your hands will get chocolate on them, and you just wash it off before the next step, like I'm doing. Now we're going to take our sprinkles of choice. Mine is rainbow. And I'm actually going to grab another spoon. Just dish them in. Dish a spoon or two of your desired kind or flavor of sprinkles into the chocolate. Now, you're going to want to mix that in. And if you're doing this at home, you may notice that it becomes very thick and sort of lumpy. You guys can't see it because of my hand. I'll scoop it up and do it with my left hand. As you guys can see, it becomes sort of thick and lumpy. That's the goal of this, because we don't want it to be thin enough and it just flows out of the paper wrapping we're putting in. But we don't want it to be thick enough that it hardens so quick. We want it to be right in the middle of those two thicknesses. So once you've mixed that in, tap as much as you can off of the spoon. Place it somewhere. And then we are going to come over here. I'm going to put some of our chocolates away, or over on another table would be better, because once again we are still fighting the chocolate timer. I'm going to put a lot of our materials on this other table that I have. Alright, so we're now going to come over to the cupping stage. Oh, hopefully you guys can still see that okay. I will rearrange so that you can see it. Now, this happens to come in a 4-level cup thing. So we're gonna take one of those levels and put the other off to the side. Now this is the messy part, okay? This is the messy part. You're gonna take your chocolate scoop. You're gonna tap some of the excess chocolate off, and then you're just gonna scoop the chocolate into the cup that's on the plate. Now you may need more than one plate. I'm trying to survive with only one, as to way less dirty dishes. And there are, while I'm doing this, I want to talk about the methods of cooling chocolate. There is the naturally cooling, which is sticking it outside on a cold day. That will naturally cool it within the air. Obviously don't do it on a hot summer's day, because that will just melt said chocolate. So you obviously don't want to do it on a hot summer's day, as I just said. Um, but like a cold winter's day when maybe there's snow outside would be a good day to do it for naturally cooling. There is flash cooling, which is what I like to, which is basically freezing it. If you're having a bunch of guests over and you're making this for dessert, obviously you're going to want to make a bigger batch than we just did, because this amount of goop will not serve more than 3 or 4 people if you want your company to get more than one per person. You can even make multiple batches. And then there's the cooling that we're going to use, which is just cooling, which is sticking it in the fridge. It is the most efficient way of cooling chocolate. It takes between 5 and 10 minutes. That time, which for me will be cleaning. Hopefully you guys will get a time lapse of that. I filled this one a bit much off camera. Shoot. But yay, I only needed 1 plate. Normally I'm doing it with paper plates and need like 3. So I'm gonna check something on my laptop very, very quickly. I'm gonna download the program that I use to make the time lapses that you guys see, because this is a brand new laptop, may I remind you. I'm just gonna start the program downloading. And I'm actually going to just install it. I'm going to extract the program. Alright, enough of me talking about what I'm doing off camera. Let's sit some of this stuff down. I hope I didn't just get any chocolate on my shirt. I'm just running this setup. Bear with me a second, guys. Next. Cool. So now we're going to shift you guys over to the fridge here. Now, currently you're just looking down. Oh, that's the wrong knob. In the wrong direction. Currently you're looking up. We want to back you guys up a bit. Or, let's open the fridge door. Looks like I'm gonna need to clear some room. I can move this down to the other side. And now, we put our chocolates in the fridge, shut the fridge door, and wait for them to cool. Alright guys, so now that the mess is cleaned up, we can open up the fridge and take our chocolates out. Now they are ready. So I'm going to put the chocolates down. And I'm gonna shift you guys over to here. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to take all of our stuff off, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm then over the sink. You guys can't see because I don't feel like moving the camera, is I'm just gonna knock the chocolate away, but that's not working, so and hot water isn't working either, so oh wait, yes it is. Basically, the gist of this is we do not want chocolate on the plate that we are presenting these on. So I'm just gonna dry the plate up. There we go. So this is the final part of this. You just unwrap it, and there you have your very own white chocolate goop truffle wafer candy thing. I don't actually know how to describe it. Some of the chocolates get attached to the paper, so you want to be careful that you don't get any of the paper with the chocolate. Basically, you don't want the paper on the chocolate. And there we have it. There are our white chocolate goop candies. Thanks for watching.